clear out. You stupid old man. You don't get to rush this.
Happiness is a cigar called Hamlet. A mild cigar.
Now watch this drive.
You're gonna fucking die!
What's going on?
Let him go.
Who is that?
Let him
She
go!
snuck in.
Why aren't you posted up outside?
You unlock this door with a simple registration. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of memes. A dimension of trolls. A dimension of morons. You are moving into a dimension of both factual and unfactual information, of rumours and hopes. You just crossed over into the Twitter fanboy zone. Hello and welcome back to the channel. So as you're all aware, or I think most of you are aware if you're keeping up with gaming, Xbox are adding adverts to games. Now I'm going to be a bit more precise here, they're actually adding them to free-to-play games. There's a lot of morons that seem to think or just associate this with Game Pass. No, because this is going to free-to-play games and Game Pass isn't a free-to-play service. So this would be games like, Halo Infinite is a good example. It's a free-to-play game, and things like Apex Legends, Fortnite, generally free-to-play games. That's what they mean by adverts going to free-to-play games. So I couldn't have said free-to-play games enough there. So, but under that assumption, PlayStation fanboys thought they would just jump on that as they always do. They had to find something negative about Xbox and just assumed that they was going to just plant ads in the middle of games, just right slap bang in the middle, just like, you know, I don't know, just like sort of general TV, I guess. That was my example for the intro for this video. They just thought that they were just going to slap a advert straight in there with no regard or any care regardless to anyone. I'll also go into my opinion of what I think will happen in the future of the adverts for gaming. But first allow me to highlight that the PlayStation fan base once again jumped the gun. They once again were on the attack because looking for any ammunition against Xbox and hate on Xbox and why to put Xbox down. They did so and they went straight on the attack for Xbox and just started posting stupid stuff on Twitter. Anything, you know, just giving people receipts really. That's what they just generally do on a daily basis now. Just talk shit on Xbox and end up getting destroyed. And to be honest, there would have been more hate, there would have been more receipts. But no less than 24 hours after Xbox announced they're going to add ads to games, so did PlayStation. PlayStation announced that they're going to add ads to games. Actually, I'd just like to highlight here that they did do a patent, I believe, back in 2014. Sony, they did sign a patent for ads in games back in 2014, but that seems to be forgotten very quickly. So, yes, they jumped on the bandwagon too sharply, I'm afraid. And I just got to highlight here, this guy here, Guapzilla. No, I've purposely put him in because I remember that name. There's where do I recall that name from now? Let me think. I think this is it. This is where I know that name from.
Jeff's career post God of War is a DLC since it's a compliment. Damn, y'all niggas are stabbing niggas.
No, I'm just curious. Does that come with a link to your LinkedIn? Guapzilla? What the f have you done, bitch? I have made multi-million selling franchises, both of which are being made into TV shows and movies, as well as sequels. So sit the f down, shut the fuck up, or jump in the arena and compare your work to my work. How many people watch your show, Zilla? How many people follow you on Twitter, Guapzilla? You want to fucking compete? We can do it. But don't fucking try to act like you got something to say and you have nothing to back it up with.
Gonna cry?
Yes, he got roasted by the one and only E.G.G in one of King Trash's podcasts. Why the man gave the time to those idiots, I don't know. I just can't comprehend that. But he did, and he ended up destroying them all. Who then shortly after made another podcast, patting themselves on the back, saying they did really well and destroyed David Jaffe, even though I mean, that's a short clip. But I'm going to go, I won't go into now, because I'm going to bring that up in another video. We'll save that for another video, because it's comedy gold. But yeah, he got absolutely roasted. So he doesn't get roasted on Twitter all day, he also gets roasted in podcasts and spaces and all sorts. I think he just gets roasted in life. But I'm deviating from the point here. So yes, back to the point, and all was forgiven when PlayStation announced they're also going to add ads to games. But I mean, this is sort of by the by really, because the main point of this is they're adding ads to games on PlayStation and Xbox. Personally, I think it's a good thing if they add them to free-to-play games. If you start adding them to £70 games, like they've sort of thrown MTs into £70 Gran Turismo or Gran Turismo Auto, Gran Turismo 7, I think that's damaging to gaming, and it's just damaging to players really. It's just unfair. But free-to-play games, yes. But especially as this was also announced after Xbox said they're going to be putting adverts into free-to-play games, and they actually made the statement that the developers will profit 100% from the revenue made from these adverts. So Microsoft or Xbox will not take any of the revenue or profits from this. It will go straight to the developers, which is great. I mean, after all, didn't PlayStation fans, don't they always cap for supporting the developers? Well, this is the perfect opportunity to support the developers. Fantastic. I think this is great, and I think it is good, and I think I see nothing wrong with it. Why do I see nothing wrong with it? Because potentially ad revenue can create a massive amount of profit, which hopefully could possibly, I'm not saying it will, lower MTs and microtransactions in these free-to-play games, make them cheaper, or just bring in more content and more updates, and you might see better quality games from this. Well, you will see better quality games from this, no doubt. But finally, we've been subject to project placement and adverts for years, decades, possibly centuries, almost likely centuries. You walk down the street and you'll see project placement. You look around your house, you'll see a magazine, it will have project placement, ads everywhere, TV, anything you do pretty much in life. We're wearing clothes now with project placement. You'll have Nike on your top. That's product placement. What I see happening for this, I don't think they will throw 1 minute video, 1 minute adverts in the middle of your games. What it will do, it will most likely be product placement. So they might have, when you shoot cans, people like shooting inanimate objects in games rather than playing the game, the cans will be made by Coca-Cola, for example. You might see, when you look at magazines on things, the magazines might be, I don't know, Hello Magazine or whatever. You have billboards in games that probably actually advertise stuff. Or, for a good example, is when you go into the waiting area in games like Fortnite, the Battle Royale games, when you're sort of in that holding area, they probably have project placement everywhere there just to show off and advertise their wares. Now, is this bad for gaming? No. As I said, if it keeps the free-to-play games, no, it's not particularly bad for gaming as long as it isn't. It doesn't ruin the flow or interrupt gameplay. It should have no interruption to games whatsoever. Yeah, so it's not bad for gaming in that sense of the term. Yes, it will if it does interrupt gameplay or ruin any sort of atmosphere that you don't want to be deep into a game watching something and really involved in it, and then it just stops and you get that 30-second break like they do sometimes on YouTube when you're right in the middle of something and you have to wait. You get a little bar going along. That's frustrating as fucking hell. I don't believe it will be anything remotely like that. These people make a lot of money from you and I. And they're making a lot of money now. For free-to-play games, maybe they have to make that revenue back because they're giving your games free. So I understand the MTs they're doing. This is just another revenue stream which will only promote and push more free-to-play games, hopefully. So eventually get to a world where all games will be free-to-play and they just might have MTs and more product placement. I would personally love that. I know many people oddly like to pay £70 or more for their games, regardless, because they like to support the developers. Yeah, you can see where that sort of goes full circle there. So please let me know in the comments below what you think of the adverts, what do you think of the product placement and the free-to-play games, the whole shebang. How does that hit you in your feels? What are you feeling? What's your concerns about the future of gaming? How do you think it will be? How do you think they will take it? Will you play games that have adverts in them? Would that be a no-no for you? Would that completely put you off? As I said, once again, this is great on Sony PlayStation and Xbox's behalf. I think they're both doing good by doing this. Once again, as long as it's only free to play and it's product placement. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Keep it nice and short. There's no podcast this weekend, this Friday, so I'm sorry about that. Guys are taking a break, so I hopefully see you for the Gamers Industry podcast next Friday. Once again, thank you all for watching, and goodbye for now.